off a tough game last night. That's veteran leadership. Guys who have been through it and dealt with those circumstances before. The adversity tonight easily could have just laid down, had many excuses, but those guys took it upon themselves to lead the way and go scrap and go get a win.
And also just, the Spurs, they kept coming. What was it just like seeing that in the game execution?
It's good. Again, all this stuff is experience for us. All of this is an opportunity for us to learn and to grow and understand who we want to be. I thought they turned up their pressure a little bit. They jumped the game up a little bit. And I don't think we responded well in that second quarter. I think we reverted back a little bit, and that's why they were able to go and make their run. To our guys' credit, they went out and kept competing and found a way to get back to playing the way we want to play, and it helped us get the dub.
Right side, Marla.
Marla Ridenauer, Akron Beacon Journal. You guys are 5-5 with since you took over. I mean, what stands out most to you? Is it the way you guys are sort of playing for one another, maybe? Or
I think that's the biggest thing. There's a camaraderie, there's a bond, there's a common goal of the way that we're playing. And no one person is bigger than the team. And you can see by different nights who contributes. There's no pouting if it's not your night. It's all about the team, and I think that's the biggest difference.
was it a pretty big step too to the foul situation was so frustrating that you guys overcame that at the end?
Yeah, I mean, the game was ugly. I think there's 80-something free throws combined or something like that. And it just, it took the rhythm out of the game. In the first quarter, I thought we had a really good rhythm. And the game was played the way it should be played. And then, second quarter, the whistles start blowing, and it just disrupted the game. But again, our guys were able to figure out a way to just grind it out.
Left side, Hayden.
Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com. What has allowed you to stick with Delhi through the ups and downs that he's had this season? It's kind of been, a resurgence from him lately. What have you seen from him, and what has allowed you to stick with him in kind of clutch moments towards the end?
Just his experience and his preparation, and certain things that you're going to get from Delhi every single night. He's going to scrap defensively. He's going to play hard. Offensively, he's going to organize and make plays. So I think if you just trust in that, he puts you in good positions. And then, him having the courage again to take big shots and to make big shots is him. It's his mentality, it's his belief, it's the trust that he has in his training because he's in the gym every single day working. That's what it is. You can count on him, and he's dependable.
Has he become more confident as the season's gone on? Have you seen kind of any difference in his confidence level?
I don't think so. I think he's the same. He's been taking shots. I think with him, you see more the more he's on the floor. It's hard for him in short stints, which is, when we're healthy, playing our young guards, it's been hard to get him longer stints. But when he has those stints, he impacts the game in a bunch of different ways.
Second row, Spencer.
Spencer Davies, Basketball Insiders, Andre's return. He was getting putbacks like crazy and really kind of doing a good job down low. What were his biggest impacts on the game in your eyes?
Again, all the things that he can do, just naturally, the way he rebounds the ball, the way he can protect the paint, the pressure that he puts on the rim, his natural skill set makes everybody on the floor better on both ends of the floor.
And then with Colin, it seemed like the length of Murray and White were bothering him a little bit, but he still kept a short memory and kept playing on. What's the next step for him to kind of deal with those guys they're kind of like pests?
I think it's just a little bit of patience and, understanding when. He's so fast, when those guys are picking him up, and, part of it is us helping him, but, he's trying to run a play, and those guys are picking him up. And so he's trying to wait to get everybody organized. In those moments, it's okay to break a play, because he is so fast. He can just beat the guy, get in the paint, and now he has to make the right play from the paint. So, again, that's just growth, that's development, and it's our job to help him.
Right side, Kelsey.
Coasters with the Athletic. JB, the last stretch of games, somebody has always found a way to step up. When you have guys that somebody finds that way, does that help you build the camaraderie around the team because they have somebody they can rally around?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what our guys have been doing. They just keep pulling for one another and keep pulling for one another. And they celebrate other people's success. And I think that's, a core value of a good team. And, that's where we're building. But it's fun to watch, how they treat each other, how they respect one another. When a guy's got it going, they're willing to give him the ball and give themselves up for that guy. So I think it's good, and it's part of the environment, that we're trying to create.
Left side, Cameron.
And also, JB, I'm going off of that. What is it like just defensively having the shorter rotations just with some guys being out recently? The guys have to do more and take on a bigger load because their minutes are going to be stretched out. We've been able to do some different things because we've been playing some bigger lineups, obviously with Jetty at the 2 some and Larry at the 3, Alfonso McKinney in that mix too. So we've been able to do a lot more switching, be a little more physical, have more size and presence on the defensive glass.
Last one, Spencer.
You mentioned that you had the game last night. It looked like every guy out there was exhausted by the end, and Kevin didn't really have his legs until that last shot, that big 3 that he hit. Just having that kind of effort before you go on this long road trip and completing a homestand was pretty successful. What did that mean for the team's morale going forward here as the season goes on?
It just means that we can, and I think that's the biggest thing is, the belief in what you can accomplish. And we've shown that we can, put together some really good stretches against some really good teams. We've played some tough teams since we've been here at home. Well-coached teams, talented teams, and we were able to find a way. And so that just, it lets you know and it gives you that confidence that you are capable of winning and winning tight games. These games have all been, competitive in the fourth quarter, and those are the most difficult ones to win. Is trying to figure out, who's going to do what, when, what play needs to be made. So you take that with you. You go travel on the road and see what happens.